Oh, hello, this is Tak Chong from Walk with Tak. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. If you would like to make home cooking as part of your daily routines, then you come to the right place. The goal of my YouTube channel is to show you a cooking system, which I call it the fast cooking system. And the word fast is the acronym for flavor chasing, advanced prepping, stir frying, and template-based cooking. With this cooking system, you can cook every day, spending less than 30 minutes a day to cook a meal all from scratch using all fresh and unprocessed ingredients. The goal of the cooking system is to help you to cook and eat more vegetables, that you have the maximum nutritional benefits but the least amount of calories. But don't forget about flavor. I'm going to show you through flavor chasing how you're going to create the most delicious meal, and you will always improve them as you progress in your cooking journey. For me, I have a lot of fun on my journey because now I have become my own very best cook. I don't want to have anybody else to cook for me anymore. This turned out to be the best way to make home cooking sustainable. This video is a good example, which is a pan-fried noodle dish, and it is my wife's all-time favorite. It is a great dish, and it is very simple. All you have to do is to fry some spaghetti noodles. So when I make spaghetti noodles, I always make some extra, and it's create a wonderful pan-fried noodle dish, or frequently you can call it a chow mein dish. And the wonderful thing about this dish is that it comes as a template, and you can make many different modifications to create multiple versions of the same dish. For example, this is a version that I cook with some chives. And last night I cooked a different version, and that is with scallions and bell pepper. And what is great about this dish is the texture of the noodles. It is both crisp and soft at the same time, create this contrast that make it so attractive and pleasing. To cook this dish, all you have to have is some spaghetti pasta noodles in the refrigerator. Each time when I cook spaghetti, I usually cook about 2 pounds of spaghetti pasta noodles, and I use them for multiple purposes. Some I will use them on the same day for a spaghetti dinner. But I will always store some in a plastic container specifically for making this pan-fried noodle dish. You never want to fry noodles right after you cook them because they will stick and burn to the wok and create a big mess. However, by storing the noodles in the refrigerator for 48 hours or longer, it will dry out the noodles. In this case, when you fry them, they would not stick and burn to the surface of the wok, as I will show you later in this video. This turned out to be very simple, but it is a critical step that you need to observe in order to successfully pan-fry the noodles to create this dish. I cooked this dish in my Cuisine 14-inch stainless steel wok, and I started with 2 tablespoons of canola oil. I come to prefer canola oil because it has a neutral flavor, and it has a fatty acid composition that's supposedly to promote cardiovascular health, as shown with this heart symbol on the bottle of the oil. I also like canola oil because of its price as compared to other types of oils. In order to make sure that the wok has a non-stick cooked surface, I season the wok before I start put the noodles in it using my spot seasoning method. This method is very effective in creating a non-stick cooked surface on my stainless steel wok. You can take a look at this video to learn more about how it works. The process is very simple. All it takes is that another 15 seconds to season the wok. Basically, you heat up the oil until the oil starts to smoke gently, and then you turn down the heat and you let the oil to smoke another 15 seconds. And this is a time when the wok is being seasoned to create a non-stick cooked surface. Before I add the noodles to the wok, I turn up the heat back to high because I want the oil as hot as possible, at least when I start cooking the noodles. For cooking this meal, I use 3 cups of cooked spaghetti pasta noodles. These noodles actually have been in the refrigerator for about a week. Cooked pasta noodles has excellent shelf life. I do not use any oil to coat the noodles before I store them. Here I have a little tips for you. Make sure you distribute the noodles into plastic containers within 5 to 10 minutes after you rinse them. And if you wait for too long, the noodles tend to stick together and they become very difficult to separate. I use a pair of long-handled tongs to separate the noodles. Initially, you want to coat all the noodles with oil or as much as possible. If you notice that there's not enough oil, then I will add just a little bit more at a time. The goal is that you don't want to have any oil sitting at the bottom of the wok. You just want to have a thin layer of oil because the lack of oil will promote the charring of the noodles. If there are too much oil, the noodles will not brown properly. Also, you will not want the noodles to taste oily. Now, as you can see here, the noodles do not stick to the bottom of the wok at all. 2 things that prevent the noodles to stick and burn to the bottom of the wok. First, the wok is well seasoned, and second is to make sure that you have enough oil. I put my oil in a squeeze bottle so I can add more oil as I see the need. And I only add a small amount of oil at a time. To prevent the noodle from getting burnt, you should stir the noodles or mix the noodles on a regular basis. I continue to turn the noodles as well as teasing them apart and make sure that all the noodles are being fried more or less evenly. Another important tip is that do not fry the noodle too much. It is the proper balance between the crispiness as well as the soft aspect of the noodles that you want to achieve. Now the noodles is pretty much done. I add the scallions and chopped bell pepper. And then I season the noodles very lightly with 1 tablespoon of oyster sauce. Here where your taste preference come into play, and you can flavor the noodles in whatever way that you would like. And of course, you can season it differently each time. You can substitute the scallions and the bell pepper with whatever other food ingredients that you might have on hand or you would like to try. There are almost unlimited variations that you could modify, you could make adjustment to, depending on what is available to you at the time, as well as what you feel like to eat that evening and create a unique noodle dish every single time. And the total cook time of this noodle dish is a little bit over 10 minutes. This noodle dish is an outstanding foundation of a great meal. My friend Jack, after he learned how to cook this noodle dish from me, he loves it. And the way he eat it, he usually cook it and he have this noodle dish with a salad. I usually cook another dish such as chicken vegetable stir-fry dish or a shrimp stir-fry dish and go right over this noodle dish. As I have mentioned before, at the heart of my cooking system is template-based cooking. All the templates are like Lego pieces that are free for you to combine them in many different possible ways. And the end result is that you'll be able to create meals of infinite variations. And when you combine the 4 attributes of the fast cooking system, you have the capacity for create meals that are interesting, creative, innovative, and fun. I post a video each day to help you to learn about this cooking system. If you'd like to learn more about this cooking system, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Keep on cooking. I will see you tomorrow.